Listeners.
Book babes and book bros.
Welcome to Book Babble. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tanya, and we're the Witlet Women, your hosts for today. But we also have a special guest host, Hannah. Hannah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi. Yeah, I'm Hannah, one of Whitney's PAs, and I'm a PA for other authors and a romance editor. Just loving being in the space and hoping to work with more authors like Whitney. Happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. And our special guest of the 15 minutes is Whitney. Whitney, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Whitney Welsh Gibbs. I am an author of all things fantastic and romantic. So I write romance books and fantasy books and a little mixture of both. And my series, the Steel Citadel series, is my new and upcoming and available now series.
Well, we are so happy to have you both on. Are you all ready to babble?
Yes.
All right. I will put 5 minutes on the clock.
Okay, so my first question is always, what's inspired you to write your stories?
I've always liked to write, and I always had things, kind of bouncing around in my brain. And I thought, hey, if not me, who is going to write these stories? So I decided to pick up a pen and piece of paper and start going for it.
Well, we're happy you did because you have created, as you said, some very fantastical romances. So thank you. Um, my question is,
Yes.
um, sorry, I just spaced.
No, you're good.
So, are there any secrets or Easter eggs throughout your series that you can talk to us about?
There's a lot of Easter eggs. I love to kind of like sprinkle in a little bit of foreshadowing throughout my writing and things that the readers can pick up if they want to. There's always something that will connect to the next book, the next story, or the continuation of the story. There's always little things that are kind of hidden in there that are just little odes to maybe people I love or the characters themselves. So, yeah, I sprinkle those things in because I like to, if my readers are detectives, I want them to kind of be able to sleuth a little bit.
That's amazing. I am one of those detectives, so I appreciate it.
The Taylor Swift Easter egg queen for sure. One of my questions was, what has been one of the more challenging parts of being an indie author, you would say?
Getting your book in the right hands, like the right readers' hands. Sometimes you find readers who, you appreciate all readers, but maybe your book isn't right for them. And it's just about marketing it yourself and figuring out how to market that in the best way so that the right readers find your book and they fall in love with it and you guys get to yab about it all the time.
Love it.
Amazing. Do you have any specific tropes that you enjoy writing more than others?
I love a good enemies to lovers. I absolutely love it because I like to see that dynamic kind of form and build. I really like that, and I really, really, really like writing a strong female character. I will never leave out the strong female character in my writing. She will always be on the page because, I appreciate her and I love her so much.
Yeah, we love a baddie, so
Yeah.
amazing. So, my next question is, which character have you written that you most relate to?
It's actually not in my current series, but one of my first books, my first romance standalone was called Broken Anchors, and the main character's name is Annie. And I really poured myself into the pages of that book. And so I really relate to her probably most, but every character I write has a little bit of me in it. So I feel like all of them kind of uh, live inside me a little bit.
Jots down broken anchors.
I need to read it too still. I love that you put a piece of yourself in all of your books. I feel like that's something really special as an author.
Yeah.
And I guess going off of that, what do you hope readers take away from your books when you write them? What's your main goal when writing?
I love escapism, so I want first and foremost my readers to be able to escape somewhere else. But I do talk about heavy themes a lot of the time, so I do want them to start thinking about the world around them and how the books that they read can relate to the world around them, and how they can have that voice by reading and kind of learning and growing. And if my characters are inspiring them to grow and have a voice for themselves and make a change in the world, I'd be super happy with that. I think that's the ultimate goal, is for our characters to inspire our readers.
I love that. Kind of going back to the indie author question, what
Yeah.
was your motivation in choosing to be an indie author?
Um, I think that at first it was, I just want to get this story out there, and I'll get it out there any way I possibly can. And I think that's how it started, but I really love being able to be creative and being able to be independent and tell my story the way I want to tell it. So as an indie author, you really get that freedom. And so I've always loved that, to be able to just kind of tell my story the way that the characters want it to be told, the way that it comes out on page for me.
I love that. That's so inspiring. Okay, we have 7 seconds left. I'm not going to be able to ask another question, so we're just going to let it go.
That's fine.
So Whitney, you have made it through our rapid fired AMA round, so congratulations. This
Yay.
section is going to go on our social media platforms, and then the full interview will go on YouTube and Spotify. So we're
Perfect.
gonna have a good time and just keep chatting. I wanted to go back to something that you just said. You
Mhm.
mentioned that you would love for your readers to take away like that message of be the change. And I think that is incredibly inspiring. Is there something in the real world that you're involved in, that you want to that you're doing that with, that you're being the change for?
Yeah, I've always been a person of action. I love to get involved in different organizations that, fuel the pumping of my heart, anything that really gets me excited to wake up and to be that change. And, for a long time I've worked with kids, so making sure that kids have a really, safe place to be, safe place to grow and learn is really inspiring for me. But also, for a number of years now, I've worked in a anti-human trafficking organization, and that's really important to me. And we've partnered with a lot of different organizations that are on the ground around the world, trying to really save these people and highlight the issue of human trafficking in today's world. And it's something that's really close to my heart, something that I talk about in my books, and in a kind of bringing it into their world a little bit, because we know that it's such like a prevalent problem still today. And so it's something that I think I that's where I gravitate towards now, because it really did encompass like my love for children, my love for people, my love for having a safe world, and where, we can grow and we can, be creative and follow our dreams and things like that. But you have to have a safe world first. So that was always something that I really gravitated towards, and finding kind of myself in this, movement of trying to stop human trafficking has been a big thing for me in my life.
That's incredible. How did you get involved? Excuse me. How did you get involved in that?
It was I work for a nonprofit, and it was actually through a connection with that nonprofit that I had met very kind woman that was running this board for, anti-human trafficking. And she was part of like a religious group and things like that. And they were just kind of opening it up to everybody. They were partnering with these different groups around the world. And I was just so inspired. I was like, any way I can help, let me help. And they brought me on, and kind of crazy enough, they threw me into like secretary role immediately. And and yeah, I'm one of those people that's kind of gung ho. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then, pretty soon I was like second in command in this like organization trying to help. And yeah, I just kind of fell into it, but I love it.
That's incredible. I could talk your ear off about that, but I will open the space to Hannah and Rachel. Otherwise, I will just keep talking the entire time. Um,
I mean, kind of going off of like you doing I feel like you just have a lot of things going on all at once. Like you're supporting the nonprofit, you've got your travel agency, you're writing, How do you, I think I've asked you this question before, but how do you, take care of yourself and manage everything you have going on? I know you've joked about like working like 60, 70-hour weeks, but what do you do for you to kind of like mitigate all of that?
Right. It's a hard balance. I know that you probably, Hannah, you can relate too. You work a lot too, and you're so
Yep.
busy. And I'm sure most of us are in today's day and age. You're just, that's just how it goes. But I love just to relax. I spend a lot of time traveling, which however much I can, I travel. That's my decompression kind of time where I can get away from everything. I read a lot. I spend time with my friends. We're big time dancers, so we go out and we dance like once a week
Ooh,
just to kind of decompress. And that is like our me time, where I don't have to be author Whitney or, director of blah 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 Whitney. I'm just, me. And I get to spend that time. So I really value that kind of like connections with friends and family, but also like let's get away from it. Let's just like step away from the work. It can wait till another day. And I have to really tell myself that. It's hard to do. But but when I do, I actually do step away and I give myself that space.
it is hard though. Like I own an indie author PR company,
Mm,
and I have my normal day job that I do, and then I have
yeah.
all my Bookstagram stuff that I do. And it like sometimes it really does become so difficult just to step away. And I find it very incredible that you have figured out how to do that with all the things going on in your life. Because it's hard, it really is.
It is.
I think you almost feel like guilt also when you're not doing something, even
Yes.
though like
Yes.
you need that rest to be able to give to other people. But it's like, oh, but I also have like this running to-do list in my mind. So it's
Yeah.
really hard to have that mindset shift that it's okay. Like you said, like things can be done the next day or like this can wait. Like you need to serve yourself, first and foremost.
I had to learn that because I was running around and I was never stopping, and that's not good for yourself. And
Mhm.
if you're not healthy, if you're not, re-energized and sleeping, which is like a big thing for me. I wrote my whole entire series, the new series, the current series, in 11 months. And so I didn't sleep. I sat there and I wrote like all night. I was up until like 3 in the morning and then I get up at 6 a.m. to go to work. So it was just like I was living on 3 hours of sleep, and that's not sustainable for your whole life. So you have to learn to just, kind of step back. You're like, yeah, this is great for this time being. Like this story's running through my head. I have to get it out, and that's fine. But in the long term, we got to take care of ourselves. And that's first and foremost because you can't be there for anybody else. You can't perform to your best ability. You can't, those stories, you're not going to keep telling them if you're worn out so much. So
Yeah.
you really have to find that balance. And it's hard. Like Hannah said, like it's hard. You kind of feel guilty sometimes, but Hannah, please walk away from things when you when you're tired because I know it's hard and it's you have to have somebody else tell you too. So
I'm
Yeah.
learning from you.
yeah, there you go.
Well, Whitney, we are just about ready to wrap up, but before we do that, I wanted to open the floor to you. And if there's any news, events, anything you want to tell your readers and listeners, the floor is yours.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, actually, the most exciting news is the second book of my series is coming out in just a few weeks. September 16th, it'll be out and available. And I'm so excited because this has been like it's been 6 months in between each book, the first book and this book. So it's kind of been like ramping up to this book from, first book coming out. There's been no stopping. So I'm really excited for this book to like finally be in readers' hands. So September 16th, that's coming out. I should be around, virtually everywhere and maybe even in some bookstores saying hi and talking about my books. But as for now, we're looking towards September 16th.
That's amazing. Congratulations. We're so excited for it. Um, well, with that coming up, hopefully we'll get to have you on again in the future.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yes. Well, we had a great time today, everyone. Thank you, Hannah and Whitney, again for both joining us, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.